Yes. Okay, let's talk to Moses. We'll try and get Joshua back on the line. Now, Moses, this is one too many accidents that have happened in the past 1 year. Are there any ongoing efforts to control or mitigate environmental hazards? Very avoidable accidents such as this one we witnessed today.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, Moses.
Good evening, Nigerians. My heart goes out to all the families of the victims of that tanker explosion in Niger State. But we keep going back to these issues, and they're indeed avoidable accidents because we cannot, because the situation is hard in the country, and then keeping our lives the way a lot of Nigerians have been doing lately. It's very, very unfortunate, and I think that National Orientation Agency and various state ministries of information and orientation should go back to the drawing board to see how they can educate our citizens about some of the dangers of this, because the dangers are in several folds: the danger to human life, of course, to the environment, and then the economic losses. So there are a plethora of issues: bad roads, bad driving habits, lack of safety precautions. So it's a very sad situation.
Now, Moses, still talking about this issue, are there any long-term policy measures being considered to prevent similar accidents? And do we need to, does the Ministry of National Orientation really need to talk to Nigeria about the dangers of scooping petroleum products? I mean, it's highly hazardous, and everyone should know that you're risking your life. What are the economic benefits? Is that what is driving them to take such decisions?
Well, a hungry man can hardly think right, because you look at it from the point of view that when a tanker falls and it spills its content on the road, what readily comes to mind of the people is that a liter of fuel is more than 1,000 naira. If they can scoop 10 liters, it means they have 10,000 naira. At that point, they are not even thinking about their own safety. But that's still, it goes back to the situation we have in the country, because there is no employed person. There is no one who has a business who will leave his business to go scooping fuel on the road, despite the dangers inherent in doing so. And when you talk about long-term measures too, well, there are several areas we can come from. If the roads are good, and then the tanker drivers themselves, they have to be reoriented to taking, driving safely. A lot of them drive through the night. They don't get enough sleep. Their mind is, okay, they want to arrive at Kaduna or wherever they are going to at a particular time, not minding the fact that they are also human. Their brains, their bodies need to rest. So if the companies themselves, the petroleum companies, they should also teach their drivers, they have to be measured that if you drive between this time and this time, you should rest. And then you mark it so that there will be a monetary system to ensure. In the aviation industry, it's a benchmark. There are certain levels of stress you go through and you can't be allowed to fly. It's the same thing on the road. So both the regulatory agencies, National Orientation Agency, while educating Nigerians, they should also let the employers of these tanker drivers to take serious safety measures, including, driving safely on our roads.
Thank you so much, Moses Idika. We'll get back to you shortly, but let's first touch base with our correspondent, Joshua Imarayi. Good evening to you, Joshua. What's the current situation in Niger State following this very sad incident, and what's the update on the number of fatalities and injured?
Of Dikko here in Niger State. It is a case of agony, pain, tears, disaster, sorrow for so many of them. What we see so far here is a completely destroyed area as a result of the tanker explosion that occurred earlier in the day. Well, on my right-hand side, beneath those things you see like mango trees are bodies of those who died as a result of this explosion. What we can confirm so far is that over 73 persons have died, while rescue effort is still ongoing to search and see if there are anyone who has been left behind. And 58 persons are currently in the hospital as we speak. And what we are seeing so far is that some of those shop owners who were here before, they are trying to gather as much as they can gather from the ruins of the explosion earlier. On my left-hand side are some of the shop owners. This place used to be where they sell diesel and gas and the likes of explosive liquid, but unfortunately, those shop is no more. Some people used to be shop owners here. Unfortunately, some of them lost their life as a result of this explosion while trying to scoop fuel from the tanker that exploded earlier.
Now, Joshua, I can see from the pictures in your background that there's still fire burning, that there's some fire still there. What's the current situation with the rescue efforts? Have the men of the Federal Fire Service been there and members of the National Emergency Management Authority? Why is there still a fire at this point?
From behind me, that tanker is what exploded earlier. It has been successfully doused by fire. Men from the fire department in the state were here, where they actually put down the fire from there. We saw a combined team of a combined rescue team earlier who gave us an update of what transpired here today. Based on what we gathered so far, they've combed the area to see if there are any more dead bodies that could be retrieved, or anybody who has been injured as a result of the explosion. But what I can confirm to you is that those people, they have been safely taken to the hospital. For those who still have their lives with them, they've been taken to the hospital. But those who lost their life, their bodies are under those branches of mango tree that you can see. What actually happened here is a sad tale. Many times they've told Nigerians not to scoop fuel from tankers who fell over. But unfortunately, today's case was an eye-opener. What happened here earlier was that this tanker was trying to navigate this road that is actually bumpy. In the process, the tanker actually tripped over, and the contents of the tanker was spilling over. I think the people who are in charge of this particular tanker got the hints of what was happening, then quickly brought a second tanker to transload the content of this particular tanker to the other tanker. They came with 2 generating sets. In the process, while they were trying to transload the content of this tanker to the other tanker, the thing exploded, and some people who were here trying to scoop fuel from the leaking content of this tanker actually got caught in the fire. I have an eyewitness who was there when everything transpired, and he's here to give us a brief his experience of what happened today. Good evening, sir. Tell us your name.
Yes, my name is Ismail. I was coming back from Abuja this morning around 8:30. So this tanker is about to go in. When he followed the one way, the road safety diverted him to follow the right way. As from there, the tanker just fell down. Yes, the tanker was just fell down. So they bring another vehicle to come and pack the fuel. From there, the fire just catch it. So those people that come to carry the fuel, they are among the people that die. I think there is so many people, including children and adult peoples and women. So I think there is some people in the hospital right now, Wuse and Suleja. And these kind of things, I think what is the cause due to the bad road that we have, especially from this Dikko to Maji. So many cars, even yesterday we have the accidents in Maji. About 2 containers has been fall down. So we call the federal government to do something about it, because we have more than 5 months now. People have been dying. people are having injury. And sometimes if you are coming back from the Dikko junction to Maje, you spend more than 6-5 hours.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So you heard from the man who was here when everything transpired. His eyes saw everything as it unfolded. And what went on today here is a sad day for many Nigerians, and is a black Saturday for residents of Niger State.
Now, finally, before I let you go, Joshua, as the state governor, Governor Bago, visited Dikko, and what's the official statement that has been released by the Niger State government? Have there also been other government officials that have visited the site of this explosion?
Well, based on if he has said anything, we've not heard. We don't know particularly if the governor was here. But while we were here, we saw the chairman of the local government area, of this local government area. He visited this place. And based on what he said earlier, he said plans are being made for those ones who died as a result of the explosion to be buried based on Muslim rites. And for those who are Christians, necessary arrangements will be made for them also.
Thank you so much, Joshua Imarayi, and also Moses Idika, who joined us from Abuja. Thank you.